the end of the day, what actually counts right now is how this first map is going to go. It's going to be trained. It's two invited teams in the league qualification. Disappearo from here. How's this pistol going to unfold? Jay, you're joining me as usual for this one. Kick things off.
And we got a pistol round coming to be. The defuse kit and smoke going to be on Sexy. He's going to go, one kill comes in for the above the rest side as they enter on towards the Ivy area. 5-on-4 immediately, but BTN, meanwhile, he's going to start timing back onto a little bit of tank damage onto one of the players back towards T-Con, but no kills coming back for Nexus. They're still at the massive man of disadvantage. 4-on-5 situation above the rest. So far have control of this matchup here. Jax still holding out towards the Ivy area, expecting them to come through, and indeed, above the rest, have 3 players, including the bomb, stacked into that area. So a split onto A wouldn't be off the cards for this T side. A minute to go, though. They have quite a lot of time and quite a few options to be working with here. Ivy aggression, we take him. Jack spots at the first, tags the tank damage, but isn't able to find the headshots. He's still trying to land it, and there it is. One does go down, back to a 4-on-4, and be able to retreat, try and see if he can get a second out towards the A1 corridor right there. Takes that kill. Brandy comes back, taking down one more. 3-on-3 situation. BTN learning for the crossfires right there, takes the headshot. And a low amount of HP on above the rest right here. It's actually going to be the man advantage that goes back towards Nexus, but still going to be a little bit of headshots damage coming on through, but shouldn't be much that you can do. 2 players left alive for the Nexus side will be able to pick up the defuse and a pistol.
Yeah, the perfect start, right? Laying the foundations down nice and easily, brick by brick. They will try and build into this half. Come out of it with a pretty, well, constructive scoreline, I think, to say the least. 1-0. Can they get their second? I mean, you look at above the rest and go, okay, what sort of play do you make here? Are you going to be the standard team, just rock the same old identity that pretty much has become meta in Counter-Strike right now? And yeah, they are. We have our answer. They're just going to buy their smokes. They're not going to buy too much. They know they got the plants, so they get that little bit of extra economic boost to mean that that early buy is much of a better option for them. So instead in this one, they go for the double down, the plant play again. A lot of smokes, so they could get the wall out on towards the A site. Bear in mind, though, that just because you throw some smokes, smokes aren't a blocking power. They don't stop you from getting a shot in the face. Fun life tip for you there, because above the rest, they can charge up main all they want. They're still going to get wrecked here. This bomb plant has to come in very quickly, and even then, they cannot get close.
4 players staying alive, easy clean up for the Nexus side. Above the rest, trying to land themselves a couple of shots, but only Jax went down, or W went down in that case. AWP will come out for his side as well. Double AWP immediately into this second round, actually. A bit of a heavy investment coming in from the Nexus side, actually. Above the rest, bomb plant was all they were really looking for here, and they didn't find it, but the bomb plant off the pistol round is going to net them a rifle buy in this round here. 4 AKs Galil on Milenk, holding out towards T main, and T-Con expecting the push to come on through any point here with the CT side. And there's Zelzera spotting out. Well, the Ivy aggression that above the rest have liked to take. This time it's actually going to be the pick, and the forces withered down over towards that top of long area. Ivory going down 2-0. 5-on-4. Still the favourite for the Nexus side. AWP pick does find its first. And that's onto W. Try and see if he can make it work. Meanwhile, Zelzera drops the bomb. And a 5-on-3 immediately to the favour of Nexus. They are absolutely tearing apart the T side here.
They're looking very good from them. Very decisive. I think that is going to be the key word of this round. And not only the round, but I think is also just kind of leading into the narrative that is going to be followed in this game, really. Because bear in mind, the predictions all favoured Nexus. I'm ignoring the whole let's always favour the team who no one wants to kind of back above the rest. Sure, that's a nice little prediction, but I think in reality, everyone favours Nexus, right? I think that's a fair comment. So them being this decisive this early on kind of does set a nice message, a nice tone to the game, that currently is the case. Cosme gets himself the headshot up on the peak of Sleepy, gets pretty much simply laid to rest, and there you have it. 3-0 for Nexus. Above the rest, well, looking a bit down under right now. Very little money to play with. Very little hope in this round. A bomb plant is pretty much their best bet. Buying Kevlar here is very costly, actually, from Brainy.
Yeah, force buying that last round. It's going to put the Rakumi in a little bit of a weaker stance. I don't think they can get a rifle buyout after this round. So actually, yeah, like you say, very costly for them to get the Tech 9s as well. But Smoke Wall, once again, they tried this before on a pistol round. It didn't work out for them, but this time they will head out 3 players in towards Ivy and 1 heading out towards the pop dog aggression. He does peek on through BTN, doesn't spot out the information. He does see some of the tracer bullets, but once again, the AWPs from Zelzera, instead of shut down anybody who comes through the IV area, no scope as well. Nicely shut down. 3 kills for him, and that's it. Easy as Nexus take themselves a 4th. Some beautiful AWP play, I might add.
This is just a swift whipping right now coming from Nexus. That was some masterful AWP play as well. Now they go for double the AWPs. I'm really worried for AboveTheRest. I feel like, you know, after just seeing 4 rounds of play, we shouldn't be this worried. But something's right now in the bottom of my chest. There's just a little bit of a lump that's making me think, you know what? This could go very wrong very, very quickly for this T side.
Yeah, and you know, we were talking earlier on the analyst desk, obviously, just during the break, how much we favour Nexus. So, like you were saying earlier, to get started like this could mean AboveTheRest are definitely not, well, more below the rest than anything else. 2-for-1 trade. Nexus will get themselves out. 2 players in favour of Sexy and Zelzera once again coming in the back. Look at this, man. He's already got a confident play, and I think this is the lump in the pit of your stomach now, being the spring in the Nexus step. As 2 players are left alive, tagged up like hell on the AboveTheRest. And Zelzera's just going aggressive as hell. He can just peek out and take as many picks as he wants. Apparently, he can win it every single time. Now, well, Brownie's not going to be able to do anything else right there. He does try and go for the bomb, but Cosmine is there, of course, watching off the cross of 5-0. Easy as for the Nexus side. 4-round loss bonus for AboveTheRest, but it's not going to be enough for their economy, as they should have themselves a force buy at best, but not a whole lot in the utility department. There will be 1 player going with the UMP and the utility buy, however, for AboveTheRest.
Smoke gonna go down towards Pop Dog already. Oh, that nade. That's a nice nade. I like that. That's really, really well done. It might not do any damage, but it's the thought that counts. And also, that's gonna be spotted out by this T-side. What is that peak? Like, Zell, do you want to be any more confident? Someone entrap this man as he is just running a riot in towards Ivy, already getting that first pick. AboveTheRest are looking like they are seriously struggling right now. They go for a trade, but they just fall to Jax. Finally, to get themselves 2 kills. But I'm sorry, there's still an AWP standing. He's got a P250. He does not care at all. He will slay you with a triple kill, and Nexus will wander away with 6 rounds on the board, belittling you as you stand with just 0. What a scoreline. The perfect start.
Exactly, and the AWP players are just absolutely running wild here on the CT side. Nexus got themselves lots and lots of potential. They've got themselves a lot of an advantage here against AboveTheRest. AboveTheRest are doing, well, I think the best thing to say here is a lot worse than we were hoping for. 5 AKs out for this next round here, but you know, again, Nexus is so strong. I have no doubt in my mind that they'll be able to shut this one down, as they're just holding steadfast and headfast and strong here. All standard angles from this CT side, and there's no real need to differ from this particular strategy, because it's worked out for them so far. And AboveTheRest play into the hands of Nexus every single time. This is going to be their only real chance to get themselves anything on the board, and even then, they've got a limited amount of utility. Double flash, smoke, and a grenade on Branny. And flashbang as well on Ivory. But that's about it, you know. AboveTheRest only looking to win in their Angels, and so far, if we've seen what we've seen so far, I'm not sure that's going to be, well, I'm not sure that's going to be what's going to help them out to win this round here. 45 seconds on the clock. Bomb's on its way in towards B's side. And AboveTheRest look to try and set up something towards the B side. There won't be any particular execution potential, but flashbang and smoke most likely out towards ramp, push all 5 players down there, or going to heaven, as it seems to be for the AboveTheRest side. Melenko will get a Molotov out right there, and there it is. 2 kills coming immediately for the Nexus side. AWP from Jax gets 1. It's 2 versus 3 situation. Punisher and Melenko just last 2 alive as they will get shut down. Melenko actually going to do some good work with a 2K, but that's about it. He's going to get shut down by Zelzera, who once again got the AWP running to his favour. 7-0. Nexus are on a roll so far, and AboveTheRest have been unable to counter them.
Pretty much looks to be the case at this point. It's just decimation. Someone stop them. 7-0. This is just looking, I don't even know. It's, you know, we're not actually live right now. This is just a warm-up game for Nexus. It's just a quick prac game for them, because the AWP is just, they feel like they're literally just warming up, running around, going super aggressive, not checking their angles and just hitting their shots. Like, sure, it sounds almost a little bit insulting when it's kind of phrased like that, but I mean, look at the play that Nexus are doing. Look at how up close and personal they're getting. Look at all the shots they're landing. it just doesn't really spell all that positivity for me. They're even going for the smart smokes to really force Above the Rest back, making them feel so uncomfortable, so antsy.
7-0 once again is your scoreline. Don't make that mistake. Don't adjust your monitors here, because Above the Rest are absolutely getting destroyed. And there's no mistake about that. 1 minute to go. AK's in their hands and move on towards the site. And actually, they will get first pick finally. Malenk gonna get that first one onto Cosme. 2 picks come back for the CT Stars. They traded to a 3-on-3 by Branny there. 1 HP on BTN. It's easy shut down once there, and it's going to be now just 2 players left alive. 1 player left alive for Nexus, and of all people, it could be Zelzera with the AWP. He's been nutty so far, but now he's got to clutch it. He's taken himself 2 kills already for the quadra kill clutch. Bomb's going to go back towards the B site. Some smart play from Above the Rest to completely fake him out. They have to go rotating alongside them. 30 seconds, we'll go to 40. Above the Rest will set themselves up with a retake. Zelzera, he's holding out towards Pop Dog and entering into the B site here. Spots at the first. Quick scope, shuts down Branny. Nice start. Punisher now. Last man for Above the Rest to try and stop this 1v4 clutch from happening. He's holding back behind the red train, all the way back towards Connector. He'll give away some shots here. It's planted directly for him, so smokes out. The fuse kit is there. He fakes it out, and it will be sprays coming in from Punisher. He's out of time. Zelzera needs to tap this bomb right here. He's trying to find the headshot. I don't think he can find it. Oh my god, he gets the kill, but he hasn't got enough time for this defuse. It's just not going to happen. Does he? No, he does! Oh my god! Zelzera, a 4K clutch. The balls on that man to run that clock down to, I think, what was a split second right there. 8-0. Nexus claim themselves the half, and Above the Rest showing absolutely no resistance to such.
I mean, Zell just wants to prove my point in this, right? Like, I mean, that's the perfect time. Just, you know, we're just talking about how they're running around and being so incredibly on point with the shots they're hitting. But not only does he prove that point, but then he says, hold on a second, guys. I mean, you know, we can take this one step further. We can elevate that point to the next level by implying that these guys are also playing incredibly smart. Like, that's so good. Honestly, unspeakable right now how well Nexus are pinning down this matchup, as Above the Rest are being held in a chokehold. A frag grenade on towards Brady and Molotov soon to follow. Burn, baby, burn, as this is a Disco Inferno. And the BTN punishing Brady with an early frag. A 5v4. Smokes in towards Pop Dog. Aggression yet again. Nexus looking like they're just going to end this one before it even gets going.
Minute to go in this round. Nexus already getting themselves that opening pick, and Above the Rest, it's looking so flustered. They're just looking like they don't even know what to do, because just like that, they're just going to clean things up. 2 kills for BTN, 3 overall in the round. Ivory chimes back and takes him out the action, but it's still 1 versus 2 situation, and they know where he is as well. The bomb's not even on his back, and Sexy can just come on through and shut him down. A 9-0 scoreline. This is just... I mean, this is just absolute wreckage. There's not much you can say other than that. Nexus playing Above the Rest to a T. They're playing this match to an absolute T here. And Above the Rest just find themselves no way back into it. They are getting themselves some damage to the Nexus economy, which they can try and work off of if they can find a round here. But first, they have to try and find a round, which is, in all seriousness for this current situation, very, very unlikely here.
It just gets worse and worse, really. There's already Nexus with 9 on the board. They look for more. They're a team who are forever hungry. The more peaks to be taken. Jax with the AWP. Well, of course he lands it. It's not a question of did they land it. It's a question of when does it end again. As Cosme going to spray through the smoke. Zell's going to find just another Punisher. Sure, nice little trade, but it's cute what you can do when you're up against Sexy and AWPers like Zello, who are just doing crazy amounts of damage. As the AWPs again prove to be the majority fraggers. Now, I'm going to ask something of someone at eFrag right now, because I don't know off the top of my head, and it's going to be a hard stat to recall. It's going to take some maths, but we need to grab the stats from this game and work out exactly how much damage the AWPs have done. What I mean by that is I want to know, since the AWPs are purchased, I think, if I recall, that they have been the majority fragger in every single round.
And you just take a look at the scoreboard, and that just proves the point, you know. Look at that. 17 and 14 frags for Zello and Jax. They're the top 2 fraggers of the server.
I think AWP has got 3 kills every round since the AWPs were purchased.
Yeah, you're right about that. But I mean, even take a look at the kills. I mean, like, they literally double up the next player down. Like, the AWPs here The AWPs here
I
are
mean,
going absolutely
17-2.
insane for the next. That's what I'm saying. 17-2, 14-3. Those are the top fraggers of the server, and they're both the AWP players from Nexus. I think you're pretty much right there. The AWPs are doing so much damage, and Above the Rest is unable to deal with it. Jax and Zello will now set themselves up out towards the standard angles of back in the B site and back of Ivy. As Above the Rest look to head very aggressive in towards the A site here once again. The AWP once again watching the cross. BTN's got himself all the way back around the back of the blue train right there. Spots out the first, but the trigger discipline on this man to just line up some headshots. Easy as triple kill for him almost happens. Not exactly.
So 2v2.
2 versus 2 situation. So Above the Rest starting to try and back, but they've still got to deal with Jax and Sexy. Jax, of course, the top fragger, or the second top fragger of the match here, takes down one, and Sleepy is the last man alive. Bomb on his back, 40 seconds to go. Going to head for this A site hit here as Nexus look to have rotated away.
All that really springs to mind is there a guard? Nope, instant denial. Right now, there is nothing that is helping Above the Rest. Sleepy is going to try and clutch this one out. He's got a bomb on his back and 20 seconds to spare. But what does this man do? How does he want to play this one out? Right now, he has zero information. All guts, no glory. Goes to the plant, gets away with it. 15 seconds left on the clock. The bomb now going to rejuvenate that time as he tries to get himself tucked into the angle, playing towards a connector peak. Has the right idea. Well, he needs to be able to take this fight as well on towards the enemy. Takes down Jax, goes to the frag as well. Sleepy gets himself a double kill, totally up to a triple in total as Above the Rest. There's a round. Now, can you hold it together? Can you chain something out of this and not get reset? Because to be honest, as much as a 16-0 is all well and good, you can still win this game with a 14-1 half. If anything, it's easier for them on the Nexus side to chain rounds together after resetting them hit. Because that reset, it wrecks their economy. Like, what do they buy? They have to win this.
Yeah. And for them, you know, it'll be a great victory for them as well, because Nexus also have their very little amount of economy on their side. And Above the Rest can claim themselves a few rounds in succession, maybe get themselves 3 rounds on the board by the end of this half here, maybe get themselves a 4th or a 5th, which could put them in at least a decent scoreline to try and shut down Nexus. But already Sexy's just going to shut that whole thought process down. He takes 2 picks. Punisher comes back in with 1 more. It's going to allow the bomb to go down. But Nexus, quick on the rotations now, going to try to set themselves up a good Molotov. Will try and push away the bomb planter. Sleepy gets 1 shot out towards Cosmine. And now Jax is already watching the AWP cross, expecting one to come in towards Heaven as well. Not going to happen so far, but still players on the site itself. The bomb does go down eventually. A 3 versus 3 retake is on the cards here for Nexus as they try and scope on through and see what they can find. Sleepy got himself 1. The smoke and the flashbangs are out. We'll peek out towards the train crosses, and Jax will move on through towards the back of the fuel train. Bomb's been planted. Nexus is a little bit slow towards this retake. They are just slowly moving on towards this site there, and there's a Sleepy spotting out 1 onto Zello. Punisher coming back on the side, seeing if he can spot out the 1 player, and there's Ivory coming on through, and there it is. A TK actually coming in from Above the Rest by the end of that round. Ivory, oh no. That's not how you want to do that one, because Above the Rest, their economy is still shaky, and it will be shaky for another round here.
They're getting there. I mean, credit where credit is due. This is not impossible. It's only 10-2. A 10-5, 11-4. It's savable. We've seen bigger things. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Pistols for now for Nexus. This should be a 3rd on the board. The 4th really is what we look towards.
Yeah, this should just be an eco for Nexus. Deagle's out. Only a bit of Kevlar and a helmet on BTN, who can go for it because his economy is pretty stacked. After the buy, he's still got 2 grand left in his pockets, so evening things out with the rest of the Nexus side. So yeah, 5-7's Deagles, PT50s holding close range angles, and a long range challenge from Sexy did come in out towards the B side as well. There's BTN challenging, taking the 1st and the 2nd. Are you kidding me, Nexus? Get himself 2 rifles, just passed it off to his teammates, and now they can shut down the rest of this round if they try and go for it. 50 seconds on the clock, and there's Zello coming in. Are you kidding? They're not going to full sweep this one on an eco. Thank God Sleepy does get 1 frag, but now he's got to get 4 more. How do they lose this one? How do Above the Rest lose a round like this? Oh man, Nexus. 11-2 on an eco. That is heartbreaking for the 2 side here.
You know what I hate about that the most? You know my most frustrated thing about that? The one round where we're like, you know what, there's some hope. The one time we finally give in, we're like, all right, you know what? We're watching this game and maybe there's a chance here. And we start to really build up that storyline. Above the rest are like, actually, yeah, no, eco rounds are a real struggle for us. We just don't know how to deal with them. And they lose it. What? How does this happen? Very, very unfortunate circumstances for them. I mean, they're trying. I'm never going to deny the fact they're trying, but it looks like they are simply getting outclassed on this map right now.
The most tragic thing about this as well is that this is Above the Rest's pick. They picked this map. What does that show in store for what we've got next on a Mirage? Which was
There's a reason everyone said 2-0.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just like, this is absolute savagery. Like, this should be a very simple 2-0 if this is how this match is being played out. Right now, we'll be Above the Rest trying to push on towards B side, trying to find anything they can, but I don't even need to play by player. It's just going to be a clean sweep from Nexus. And I'll shut the whole thing down now. Last round of the half. Above the Rest will have themselves a buyback here, but I'm not sure whether to call this match as already set and gone or whether we should look towards a CT half because, I mean, even looking at the stats, you know, Nexus have posted the better results. Above the Rest haven't found themselves a whole lot. And in this case, you know, for this matchup, they haven't found themselves a whole lot either. AWP is out for Sleepy, for Jax, who will take that first face onto Sleepy. Of course, taking AWP out of the action. 2-for-1 trade out Above the Rest. Trying to get themselves some aggression on through, but there's Cosme coming in with 1 frag, 2 frags, gets a spray onto the third. Easy as. Triple kill for him, 13-2. Scoreline in favour of Nexus on a very, very dominant CT half.
That is just pitch perfect. I need something to help me stomach this, honestly. It's such a brutal result right now. Being completely waltzed all over. And that's really what it comes down to. 13-2. Above the Rest. I mean, what do they do to save this, really? I don't know. They got to have one hell of a pistol round, I'll give them that. USPs, of course, ban is the play. As expected, they haven't really gone for any upgrades. They're going to tap away, hoping, praying that the shots will finally connect. Malenk, about the first time I think I've said that name this entire cast, get to frag on towards Zello.
Still round, of course, the defuse kit is on Branny. Utility buy on Nexus is still in play. Sexy got himself the double flash smoke. But all that utility is just going to be used right there, and now it will be rushing on through from the Nexus side. And Ivory's actually got himself a good angle here. We'll take down one, so Nexus are falling apart at the seams. They do get one trade back, and as BTM playing aggressive, actually, that's a 3-on-3 situation. Bomb's going to go down, and Nexus, now BTM's is going to take some tag damage onto Branny, and Sexy's looking for whatever he can. Jack's going to get that kill. Sleepy trying back onto one with the USPS, and now it's all on Jax as the lone man alive for this T side. Holding out towards the ramp area, he gets spotted out by Sleepy. No utility on him. The defuse kit will have to come on through here. And there it is, Above the Rest. Claim themselves a pistol round at least to try and get themselves back into this matchup. 13-3 will be our scoreline.
I feel like, you know, I left some silence there because I'm just generally thinking of where do we go with this, right? I'm thinking 13-3. Nexus can't really do anything in the immediate future. It'd be really unpalpable for them to even attempt to do anything. They're just going to buy some light pistols and do standard, right? That's Nexus's playbook. We've seen it time and time again from Sevo, you know, everything pretty much. Sevo main playoffs from last season as a prime example. Above the Rest, however, they're the team that we look at right now. I mean, they've lost to these pistols before, so I'm not even holding any blows. Just they got to play smart and together. They've got to play some team Counter-Strike.
So far, they will play against the Nexus lineup because Nexus have got themselves just pistols in this round. No Kevlar, no utility, just upgrades here and there with some deagles. BTM will take a headshot onto one player for 4 versus 4, punishes down, and there it is. Just the rest of the cleanup coming in for the CT side. Jack's last man alive, 1 versus 4. And Malenk will tap his way on towards the cross and take down the final T-side player for a 4th round on the board for Above the Rest. Nexus, though, with a buyback. If they take this one, I think I'm ready to spell GG. 13-4 so far. AK is out. Jax. We have an AWP for his side as well. Glass cannon, so it is a bit of a risk, but Nexus can afford to take that risk at this point. They have such a massive round advantage that they're really well set at this point.
Honestly, I don't think Jax took enough damage in previous rounds to even worry about armor, and I mean, Zello just... It's like, you know, you give a man an inch and he takes a mile, and Zello is just the epitome of that statement right now. Literally just loving life, flaps up 2 kills, BTN's like, you know what, give me a piece of this pie. Decides, you know what, I could drop a smoke down and re-smoke what my teammate has done, or I could just go a little bit more aggressive because frags are just, you know, they're pretty damn good at this point, right? And I love it because it's just frags. It's literally just a game of frags. Even while blind, it's just frags.
Above the rest. Picked to pieces once again. 1 versus 4 now for Brandy. We'll take the first. But there's Cosmian coming in and shutting the whole thing down. 14-4 now. Nexus 1 away from map point in this best of 3 series. Above the rest with another buyback here, so they will have a chance in this round to try and stop the late game from coming to fruition. Nexus 14-4, a 10-round deficit here between them and their opponents on the CT side. AWP 3M4 as a CZ brought up for the Above the Rest sign up, and already it's going to be first picks coming in for Nexus. A trade back from Cosmin and Sleepy now. A 3 versus 4. BTN also storming in towards the Ivy area. Malenk doesn't even look for it, and it's going to be Brandy also going down as well. So now 1 man left alive for Above the Rest. 1 versus 4. Out towards A2. Gets spotted. Gets taken down. 15-4. Nexus map point. And more than likely, very easily 16-4 scoreline here for the Nexus lineup. Above the Rest, forced by pistols, UMP coming out. But other than that, not much resistance against the 4 AK and AWP buy-up of the T side.
Unfortunately, I think you're going to have to keep talking because I need to go buy a Theosaurus real quick to pick up that word that kind of describes just how bad this matchup really is right now. Because I'm all out of options. I'm done. Like, my word caliber is completely just gone right there. I can't even speak English. I'm so confused. It's 15-4. Above the Rest have shown... I don't really think they've shown anything in this map. They look like they've been outclassed. And for me, I'm already looking at this second map and thinking to myself, all right, what can they do on the second map? Is it going to be better? Is it just them not being mentally prepared for this game? Are they not all that ready just yet? Perhaps this second map is going to be much better. Who knows? They're fighting hard and fast with the CZ, but it's still 2v1. It's still going to be taps at long range, and ultimately, I'm thinking like it still could be the same victors in this one. And AWP to try and do it all brings it to a 1v1, so let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But Mayor Ryan Sexy, he's strutting his stuff. He's showing off at this point, showing a bit of leg here and there, baiting out Virtue with the CZ. As he's got that HP advantage. Oh! Spicy CZ shots come back in, and Above the Rest, fair play to them. You have another round to play with.
Oh, they're clinging on to this matchup by a life support machine right about now. Back to a 10-round deficit between these two teams, and Above the Rest need to find themselves 10 consecutive to bring it to overtime, and then after that, 4 rounds against the Nexus side for overtime, because right now, that is all their hope is in hell to try and win this first map. They're keeping themselves alive by an inch, but an inch is not by much. AWP out for Sleepy, aggression coming in towards the Pop Dog area, but there's Zello coming in with 2 nice trades back. It goes back to the favor of Above the Rest as Punisher gets Jax back to a 2-on-3 situation. Nexus held back towards the electric box, in towards Pop Dog. They may just get themselves in towards Pop Dog and back up towards the B site instead. Above the Rest not rotating too quickly. I don't think they have the information on where the last two T players are. So making their way slowly in towards site, maybe in towards ramp. Virtue is watching from the top of the connector train. A minute to go for the Nexus push here, and Above the Rest still teetering on the edge. They have themselves an advantage, but still could be a round that could change at the drop of a dime, except for Virtue, who takes down Zello through the smoke. And now Sexy, 1 versus 3 to make this one work. Will peek out on towards the first, sprays away. Leaves a little bit of information towards the last CT players, but there it is. If Virtue takes that final kill for a double kill in the round and shutting down the B-side offensives, 15-6. Above the Rest, we'll put Nexus back to an eco here.
Bit by bit, they're making this go a little bit better and better. They are Bob Ross right now, just painting away, trying to make it a happy little thing. But even then, at 15-6, one mistake, one subtle problem, and Nexus they strike. Quick as anything, they will sink their teeth in and they will crush you. So Above the Rest have got to be confident now. They need to play smart, but confidence really is the point I want to stress. Because if you're a team playing nervous, you make a hell of a load more mistakes. If you feel comfortable, if you feel like you are doing your job how you're supposed to be doing it, as a team and as an individual, then this is where Above the Rest may well have a shot at making this possible, making this happen. But until then, it is just, you know, a little bit of wordplay here and there, a little bit of the idea of, okay, it could happen, maybe, who knows. But we got to wait and see. Brainy starts off with a frag on towards Zello, though, to at least be able to deal with the clinching that is this pistols, as they do just nab themselves pick by pick a few little frags. Sexy unable to find their head of the position. Nice little trade comes in from BTN, but even then, not looking like Nexus. Ooh. How was Jax able to get a double kill there? Does get traded back out again, but way too close for comfort. The fact this is a 1 versus 1 is ridiculous right now.
And, you know, above the rest's current matchup is sitting on the edge of a knife right here. Thankfully, Averchi showing up for his team. Takes himself the last kill of the round here for Above the Rest. 15-7 now. Very close, these rounds here. Above the Rest holding by, like, again, by like a small little thread at this point. And Nexus is just trying to, like, just get the scissors in place to cut it off. Because Above the Rest, like, they're really holding on, like, almost. I'm not sure how to word this, but they're just holding on for a miracle, I think, is the appropriate word. Because right now they're finding themselves picks and shots and rounds here, but there's so much more to be done. There is so many more rounds to be won here, and they are slowly making good headway. But there's still 8 more rounds to go finding here. We'll be pushing on through from the T side. Averchi takes that one, takes one right there. Zella taking one back onto the B side, and there's Sexy over on A, doing some good work. BTN shuts it down. It's a 4 versus 2. Above the Rest may have just been shut down here as one more pick comes in, all on Malenk. Last man alive in a 1 versus 4, pushing on through towards the connector area. Once he peeks out, they're going to know exactly where he is, and they will look to shut him down. He takes down one to Cosmine. But there are 3 more players to find. They know exactly where he is. Peeks out, takes a second kill to Zello, but there it comes, Sexy with the kill, 16-7 favor of the Nexus side. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and the analysts are going to break down.